Hello and howdy everyone. A few days ago I saw Thor: The Dark World. I thought it was okay. I'm going to give it a 6. I mostly just thought it was boring. I had a really tough time paying attention, or maybe not paying attention but caring. Maybe my expectations were a little bit up, just because I love Thor. I thought Thor was great. I would give the original Thor a solid 8. I would even say that it would be my favorite pre-Avengers lead-in film. I would tie it with the original Iron Man. I gave all the Iron Mans 8s, I believe, just thinking it was a solid trilogy. But I preferred Thor, the original Thor. I thought it's perfectly captured the essence of a comic book. It just felt fun. It felt fantastic, and in terms of fantasy, fantastical. Here, all of the fun was kind of stripped away. I didn't laugh much. I didn't do really much of anything. Just kind of even felt like I was going to fall asleep, honestly. Let's see, we've got Thor on Asgard. He's, let's see, what happens? Some dark elves take over, or from like the beginning of time, and they're reawakened to do what? What were they doing? Finding some weapon of ultimate destruction, of course. While I'm on it, the Dark Elves I did not buy for 1 second. I thought they were boring. Didn't make a good bad guy at all. Here, to me, the bad guy of the film is and should always be Loki. But we should at least have a suitable distraction, someone to at least give him a run for the money. I didn't find that here. I thought that, I guess the other bad guy of the film would be the leader of the Dark Elves, which seemed to be paint by number, characterization. I just was like, okay, what's the point of these guys? And of course, Thor must, get the tool of ultimate destruction back from them. They have a big battle in London. Natalie Portman's there for some reason. I guess what I enjoyed about the film the most is definitely the highlight of the first film for me, as well as the acting. We've got some British heavyweights here. We've got Anthony Hopkins, Tom Hiddleston. They're Shakespearean actors. They know how to chew on scenery. I could have even used a little bit more of that. Anthony Hopkins, does get to stretch a little bit here, but I would have liked to have seen more of him. But even then, I noticed that what I enjoyed, got some snickers from the audience. When Anthony Hopkins would give his big monologues, I found that some people around me would be laughing. So I guess there's some element of cheese to it, though I rather enjoyed it. Tom Hiddleston's Loki is fantastic, highlight of the film. The relationship with Loki and everyone else is pretty much, I don't know, what keeps you coming back. And his interplay with Thor, his brother, Hemsworth. Is it Chris Hemsworth? I get the Hemsworth brothers mixed up. But, I really don't know what to say. I just was bored with it. It looked dull. That's one thing I loved about the original Thor, is how bright and colorful it was, and again, how comic booky it was. Here, all that was kind of stripped away. Alan Taylor directed it. I'm not too familiar with him. Apparently, he's more in television, Game of Thrones specifically. I've seen, I guess, the first 2 seasons of Game of Thrones. I guess it was kind of brought down into the Game of Thrones world in that grimy, dirty world. But I don't know. I found it to be very different from the first film, which I guess is not a bad thing, but it's definitely not what I was expecting. It was kind of nonsensical. Again, nothing new. Pretty much, again, straightforward plot. The acting was good. The highlight of the film is the acting. Special effects were good. I'd say, you know, some of the battles were okay, even though I'm trying to remember like anything about the film. Really, it's just forgettable. I know they had a fight in London, but I can't remember quite what happened. Again, I just never got into the bad guys, the Dark Elves. I was like, okay, whatever. I wanted more Loki, which you do get some good Loki stuff here, but, you know, I just need more. You know, I just need more. Let's see, who else is in it? Kat Dennings, I guess, is in it. She provides slight comic relief. Stellan Skarsgård, who is odd in the film. I don't understand why they kind of made him crazier. Well, I mean, I guess I do, but I guess I just didn't buy it. Kind of funny here and there. I mean, you know, it leads in, I guess, to the next Avengers. Well, I mean, it just feels like filler, you know. It didn't feel like anything fun and necessary, you know, like, oh, you know, Thor needs to have this great adventure and save the universe. But I don't know, it just felt, I don't know what the word is. Like, there's not much passion. What am I trying to say? Just stagnant. You know, it just kind of sat there on the screen, and it never drew me in, never wowed me. Again, I don't think I did much of anything while watching the film. I don't really think I felt much of anything. I don't really think I thought much of anything. But again, great special effects. Not like I could understand everything going on, so it's well directed, well acted. You know, it's just like meh. You know, just meh. So I think a 6 is fine. I think a 6 is fair. Sure, I guess you could see it on the big screen, as I think all films should be on the big screen, but I don't think I'd recommend this to people. I'm definitely not going to say, oh man, you got to see Thor 2. I don't think I'd ever say that. So it's not a recommendation for me. So that cutoff is, you know, between a 6 and a 7. A 7 is a recommendation, a 6 is not, and I cannot recommend this film. So I think I give it a 6. But obviously there's, you know, it is a studio film. It's a big blockbuster, so it's well made, with a lot of money, so the special effects are good. It's well shot. Well, I guess. Again, it's so grimy and dirty, and unlike the first film, it was just like, well, you know, okay, I guess so. I needed more Loki. You know, he was good. Definitely the highlight of the film is the family interplay. Rene Russo is also in it for a little bit for some reason. Totally underused. And, you know, is I guess quickly gotten rid of. But I just thought it was kind of silly, her role in the film. It does bring everyone back from the first film, you know, so Idris Elba is there as well, even his buddies, Thor's fellow warriors are all there. So it does bring the entire cast back, so there is a good sense of continuity. But just the feeling, the fun, it's all gone. It's just all been sucked out, and I don't know where it went. So yeah, I don't really know what else to say. I think I've pretty much said my piece. Yeah, okay. I think I've done it justice. So that's Thor: The Dark World. I'll give it a solid 6. Thanks much.